Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Dear brothers and sisters, inna alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man walah. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul 'uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli, amma ba'd. Jazakumullah khairan, and welcome to our tonight's program. This is actually the general body meeting where our brothers and sisters, mashallah, in the shura will update you of our programs and the construction, everything, alhamdulillah, that has been happening in ICF. Especially during those challenges time. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for us, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Without any further ado, I will just start with reciting the Quran, and then I will hand it over to Brother Kashif, our Amir, inshallah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله ولتنظر نفس ما قدمت لغد واتقوا الله إن الله خبير بما تعملون ولا تكونوا كالذين نسوا الله فأنساهم أنفسهم أولئك هم الفاسقون لا يستوي أصحاب النار وأصحاب الجنة أصحاب الجنة هم الفائزون لو أنزلنا هذا القرآن على جبل لرأيته خاشعا متصدعا من خشية الله وتلك الأمثال نضربها للناس لعلهم يتفكرون صدق الله العظيم. اللهم اجعل جمعنا هذا جمعا مرحوما وتفرقنا من بعده تفرقا معصوما ولا تجعل فينا ولا منا ولا بيننا شقيا ولا محروما. اللهم وفقنا إلى ما تحبه وترضاه اللهم وفقنا إلى ما تحبه وترضاه اللهم وفقنا إلى ما تحبه وترضاه يا رب العالمين. تقبل منا هذا العمل واجعله خالصا لوجهك الكريم. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept our efforts. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept our efforts. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless our beloved community of ICF. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept from all of us. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to unite our hearts. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to unite our hearts. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless this community. Allahumma ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. And now, inshallah, I'm going to hand it over to Brother Kashif, our Abir, inshallah, to update you of our programs and the construction and everything, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair. Brother Kashif.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you very much for joining us for our annual general body meeting. We are about a couple of weeks late, but things have been, as you can well imagine, interesting over the course of last year or so. And so it's a good time to recap what we have been doing over the course of last year, give you update on different arms or divisions of the masjid, essentially, and what we are doing with education and seminary and Islamic Center of Frisco Quran Academy, along with give you a financial update and a construction update as well. So I have a presentation that our Shura members created, and of course you know our Shura members. General Secretary is Arif Faizan Bhai, Chief Financial Officer is Mudassir Hassan, Mariam Batla is a Shura member, Atir Khalid is a Shura member, Khalil Hamza is a Shura member, Jarjis Mirza is a Shura member, Tamim Ansari is a Shura member, and I think I got all of them. And Izzat Khan, absolutely. How can I forget Izzat Bhai, of course. So Izzat Bhai is also a Shura member. Sorry, Izzat Bhai. Okay, so next slide, please. Great. So the topics of today, let me just run them down for you. We already did the recitation, and Imam Sahib, I thank you very much for your leadership, for all things Islam and prayers and du'as and everything and anything that you do for the community on a daily basis. MashaAllah, 7 days a week, you're available for us. And thank you for the wonderful recitation as well. Today we'll give you a financial update. We'll give you a construction update. Of course, we'll tell you about our wonderful staff and also committee update as well, inshallah ta'ala. So, our wonderful team, you're all aware of our Imam Salah Mahmood. He's leading us through this pandemic at this masjid and trying to be available as much as possible. I'm really, really thankful for Imam Salah and his presence amongst us, mashallah, and his dedication to the community at large when he's at the masjid or away from the masjid. Again, Sheikh Mubin Kamani is our Director of Youth, and I'm really thankful for his presence during this pandemic at the masjid and his contributions towards our youth and in the entire year, that what he has been able to do for the youth of this community at the masjid, remotely, virtually, and of course, holding some meetings, practicing social distance at places where it is allowed. Huzaifa Siddiqui, Hafiz Huzaifa Siddiqui, Qari Huzaifa Siddiqui joined us a few months ago as our Director of Hifz program, mashallah, and he is doing a fantastic job, and the Hifz program has really taken off under his auspices. Alima Sadaf Kamani continues to propel our program for Hifz and also virtual classes for the sisters and for Nazra as well. Brother Ahmed Noor, can't say enough things about Ahmed Bhai, of course. And he's the heart of this masjid right here. He's here day in, day out, 7 days a week, mashallah, serving the community and this masjid without ever thinking about him or anything else. He's here, and his heart and soul is into this masjid, mashallah. And then our part-time staff, Sister Banan and Sister Mervat, thank you so very much for your contributions over the course of years, and especially this year, teaching our children Nazra, of course, and I pray that all of you are doing well and inshallah continue to provide great service and leadership to our community. Thank you. Okay, thank you very much, Arjiz Bhai. I want to also thank Qari Umair and Hafiz Behda, Imad Behda, who have joined our team as Nazra teachers and part-time Hifz teacher as well. So I welcome them to our scholar community and teacher community as well. So thank you very much, Arjiz Bhai. All right, these are the committees that are serving actively, virtually to your community and our community at this masjid. It's a nice little slide that was created from Sisters Committee to Construction Committee to Hifz program, financial assistance. A lot of volunteers are involved in these committees, and I thank all those volunteers and the leaders of these committees that they continue to do work to serve the community at large and this masjid at large. So thank you so very much. All right, let's talk about Quran Academy at this point. Mashallah, a few months ago we launched it. We have seen tremendous success with it. We have full-time Hifz. We have 4 boys and 6 girls in full-time Hifz program. In part-time, we have 23 boys and 4 girls in part-time Hifz. Nazra, we have 54 students, mashallah, and continue to grow. Qaida, we have 36 students and continue to grow. This year, we added 2 new teachers for Nazra and added 1 new Hifz teacher, a split between Nazra and Hifz program, and improved student-to-teacher ratio, 6 students to 1, whereas it used to be 10 or 11. Mashallah, it's an investment in our program, and it's an investment in our children of the community to continue to promote and learning of Quran Sharif and Hifz program, inshallah. And then let's talk about Sunday school. It is doing fantastically well over the course of this last year. Obviously, with this pandemic, everything transitioned to virtual, so I'm very thankful for the Sunday school team, principal, vice principal, Tamim Bhai, who is responsible to lead the Sunday school, and also Mariam supporting the IT aspect of it, and all the admin staff who are associated with it. Right now, KG, kindergarten through 8th grade, we are doing via Zoom, all the classes. Total enrolled students are 213, admin staff of 9, and we have 20 teachers, mashallah, and at least 22 students are getting fee waivers right now, and it's run by volunteers 100%. And thank you, the volunteers who have been supporting the Sunday school and teaching over the course of this past year, and continue to do so until we get out of this mess. Health clinic. Mashallah, all through pandemic, our Sunday health clinic has continued. We have served over 600 plus community members. Our prescriptions have been written by the doctors, and the doctors continue to really promote this program. Dr. Numan Anwar, we are so thankful for his leadership at Sunday Clinic. I'm also thankful for the Shura liaisons who are helping there, but in terms of Atir Bhai and also Jamil Bhai, who help out at the what do you call, Sunday Clinic, if you will. The appointments have changed and the consultation model has changed, and we just have had to move and adapt because of the conditions that were given and are being predicated upon us because of continued pandemic. So also want to thank Dr. Ambrina Shwak as well for her contributions and relentless support of Sunday Clinic. All right, youth programs. They are led by Imam Mubin Kamani, and I'm really thankful for his presence and leadership as well. Youth committee meets under the guidance of Mubin Kamani, and they continue to do great work. If you remember, during pandemic, it was the youth committee who held a very successful barbecue event at the masjid grounds, practicing social distancing, and it was a lot of fun, and it was all because of a youth committee, and they donated a sizable chunk to the masjid from that barbecue event, so I'm very thankful for them. All the programs for the youth have gone virtual, obviously, and they continue to be, but some of the things that I want to mention right now are the 99 Supreme, which is names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Elevation Young Professionals Program, Hadith Hack, and also Best Stories for the middle schoolers that is going to be launched rather quickly here. All right, community outreach. Throughout COVID, the Shura and the volunteers have been busy delivering food boxes for families who were challenged by empty kitchens or cupboards, if you will. They delivered boxes. We have partnered with Frisco Fast Packs, North Texas Food Bank, Health Foundation. We continue to do partner with Mother Against Police Brutality. Islamic Relief is our partner as well, and of course we partnered in Everybody Eats program as well. We delivered hot meals to a lot of families through drive-through, essentially, pickup. All right, let's talk about some finances right now. And when we came in on December 19, we inherited $1,500,000 over the course of the year. You see the balances at each month, if you will, and leading all the way up to December 2020 when we had $1.29 million. Right now, we have $624,000 in construction, $191,000 in education. Zakat has about $113,000, and operations funds has $367,000. I want you to know that $277,000 is still needed to be paid to the construction company as a part of the finish out for the phase 1 of this program, and that will leave us with $347,000 worth of balance in our construction account, essentially. All right, let's talk about construction. At the beginning of January 20, we had $825,000 in construction account. Through donations and transfers, you see the balance increase by that much. And then, of course, escrow funding happened at $900,000. You see that mark. Ending balance in the construction right now is $624,000. These donations include December 6th fundraiser where we raised $375,000. So we did make some transfers in order to get the construction paid off, obviously. And we did complete the back parking lot as well during this time as well. Again, we need to pay $277,000 worth of outstanding bills, and we will pay that in the next few weeks to come, inshallah ta'ala. There we go. The next slide. Yeah. Education. All right. So, and at the beginning of January of 2020, we had $186,000 in education through donations, and you see the journey there as well. Right now, as we sit, we have $191,000 in our education account through donations. And then for zakat, we had a beginning balance of $73,000 in January. Donations were $162,000 over the course of the year. Disbursements were $123,000, and right now we're sitting at $113,000, and actively, allotting this money to the families in need, individuals in need through CAP programs. I'm thankful for the people who contribute their time for the CAPS program as well. All right, for masjid operation, the starting balance was $427,000, and then you see the donations towards it. And right now we sit at $367,000 in masjid operations. Over the course of a year, you donated $963,000 in 2020 for the operations. Over the course of last year, we were able to work hard and reduce the expenses by $147,000 in masjid operations compared to last year. And the security expense alone, one way or the other, was lowered by $61,000 versus 2017. Of course, lack of activity is one of the reasons as well, because we're just not busy here right now. As far as the donations for the masjid is concerned, a little known factoid that came to my attention was that we always ask our community to become a recurring donator for the masjid on a monthly basis. Currently, when we took a look at it, it appears that we have 70 families who are donating recurringly on a monthly basis, totaling $20,000 a month out of 1,800 families. Now, I know the other 1,800 families are donating one way or the other, but it's not recurring. We really urge the families to become a regular monthly donors by way of signing up through Mohid, through our website, calling Ahmad Bhai to make sure that it can get done, but it can be easily done on our masjid website when you're here for Jummah or any namaz. Use the terminals to become a monthly donor, whatever you can afford, but at least start with $25, if not more. But we welcome any and all donations because this is your masjid, and of course, it takes money to run the masjid as well. So, thank you. Next slide. Let's talk about construction. The first phase of the construction is done. The 1B has implication of $3.1 million for us to go vertical, but in order to go side by side or step by step, we need to have at least $1.2 million in our construction account to begin construction. And when that construction begins, we'll have money to pay for it until we go vertical with the beams and the walls. We'll need another $1.2 million, and then an additional $726,000. So essentially what I'm saying is with only $377,000 in our construction account, we will not move and start the construction process again until we have $1.2 million in the bank to give the green light for the next phase of starting with the 1B and then continue to raise funds towards the next payment of $1.2 million and then 726. To that in mind, of course, Ramzan is coming. We'll be hosting a fundraiser during Ramzan as well for the operations. But tentatively, We have a fundraiser planned for October 30th, hopefully in person at Embassy Suites, but Allah knows best. But that is the plan at this point, inshallah ta'ala. All right, so I think this is the last slide. If you have any questions, certainly I'll be happy to entertain them. But this is the state of the affairs, or state of the union at this masjid at this point, as I know it and as we know it, alhamdulillah. Oh yeah, so by the way, you have the ability to ask questions via Facebook and what else? And YouTube. So you're welcome to post your questions if you have any on Facebook. We have team members standing by to relate those questions to me from Facebook and or YouTube as well. Yeah, so construction is completely stopped. We are not paying for any trailer anymore. We didn't want to incur any of those expenses simply because of the fact with $377,000 in the bank, there's no way we're going to start the construction because the steel package alone is $755,000, right? So that's why in that slide we said we need $1.2 million in the bank to be able to put into escrow to start construction again. So we will not touch construction until we have $1.2 million in our construction fund and continue to raise another $1.2 million and then 726 to get phase 1B completed. Yeah, so that is a very good reminder, Mudassir. I really appreciate it. Much like in December fundraiser when we were really begging families to come up and say, okay, it's $1,000 per family for the construction in 3 waves. Essentially, each fundraiser, if each family gives $1,000, that's $3,000, and we got our $3 million with 1,800 families in Frisco area or registered members of this program, inshallah. So that's where the construction stands. Good question, Rehan Bhai. Thank you. Yes, so I think it's a very good question. It's not a premature question because I received calls from other emirs who are absolutely in the mood of doing Taraweeh in the masjid with some sort of social distancing. Our own Shura members and us had a deep discussion yesterday as well, and I'm sure because it's Amruhum Shura Bainahum, we'll come to the right conclusion as to how the Taraweeh should be managed inside, outside, in that parking lot, over that parking lot, or we do it here and then in that parking lot with speakers as well. So we can, accommodate people here and accommodate people outside. I think it's important to understand, as I was having conversations with other presidents of the board, where they are only limiting it to 20-25% occupancy from their maximum level, which we are doing it as well. However, CDC and the government is saying that you can have up to 50% occupancy. So this masjid, at one time, if it can accommodate 1,100 people, we can go up to 550, but our Friday prayers are capped off at 220 at this point, only at 20%. So again, we have 2.5 months to really decide how we're going to do it, but inshallah there will be Taraweeh, one way or the other. Here, outside, inside, whatever, with speakers, inshallah, it will be Taraweeh. And that is what other masajid are thinking as well. Plano, ICQC, so deep thought, deep conversations are going on at that level as well. And I can't wait. I missed it last year. We all missed Taraweeh last year. Any other questions? All right, well, thank you so very much for, huh? Oh, yeah, yeah. So as a parting gift, I want to make sure that all of you get to visualize what the masjid is going to look like when it's finished and the way it was modeled by our predecessors so wonderfully, mashallah, with their hard work and what they passed on to us and which we'll pass on to the next shura as the project completes. But it's a beautiful model, and let's see that video virtually.
حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح
Yeah, one more question. So we are open to all options and ideas from you and from the community at this point. We wanted to get this general body meeting out so people know where we stand in terms of finances and operations. Currently our focus is on how best we can get the community back engaged with the masjid again, with pandemic still going on apparently, as I'm told. We'll have to just move and adapt at this point. The reality is that we would like to have the community more engaged with the masjid. And when they come to the masjid, they contribute not only religiously as well, but also monetarily as well. And the outreach has been difficult because of the pandemic as well, because of the distancing. The plan is to have that fundraiser for the operation in the masjid for Ramzan. But between now and then, we are open to options. We are talking to people to see how and where we can go with raising of the funds, so we can start the construction. But bottom line, the first line is $1.2 million before you can begin construction at this point. I thank you very much for attending the meeting, who are here in person, and the folks who are tuned in virtually. I really appreciate your help, support, keep us in your du'as, and I thank our team members who work so tirelessly to continue with the operation day in, day out, mashallah, and then we'll continue to provide great service to the community by keeping the masjid open and keeping it a very safe environment for you to come pray and, socialize and what have you. Jazakallah khair for attending. Assalamu alaikum.